Well, first off, who are you? Like, what's your real name?
Real name?
Real name.
Teachers call me Garland Mosley, but as an artist, I am Sebastian.
State of emergency.
Please. You're all going to die down here.
Just when the night can't get no less, more start strutting what it is. Vixens fighting for their stress. I butt in like Mr. West. Yes, you gon' finish it.
So, where did you get your name from? You told me your name was Garland in the beginning, but now it's Sebastian. Where did you get Sebastian from?
Sebastian came from the motion picture Cruel Intentions. That film was in 1999, I believe. The character is actually taken from Ryan Philippine. He actually used the same name as Sebastian. I was given that name by close friends. They actually they adopt that name for me for the simple fact of the way he treated women and the way I treated women was very similar.
How do you mean?
We took advantage of women.
We or you?
I mean, it wasn't, I don't want to say it's total advantage of women, but it's just like we used their weakness to build up our strong side.
Okay. Alright.
Not a bad guy, though.
Yeah. So what schools did you go to?
I started out at Salem High School, and then I transferred from Salem to Oscar Smith, and then I graduated from Kellam High School.
Okay, alright. Now, for those who aren't clear, what do you do?
Well, I actually started out acting. I played in this movie called 30 Years to Life.
When?
It was around 2001, I believe, and that's actually a movie that was written and directed by Vanessa Middleton. From acting, I actually branched off into music. I got started in music a little earlier. I mean, I did start at acting, but then I got started into music after acting. So, I'm into music. I'm an artist.
Now, what got you into music rather than acting?
I actually wanted to pursue acting as a long-term goal, which I am still pursuing as a long-term goal. Music was more of a short-term goal. I got started into that when I was in high school. I used to not do my homework and kind of like write rhymes in this notebook. And I used to bring this notebook home and just tell mom I'm doing homework when I'm really writing rhymes. And eventually got enough courage to spit one little freestyle rap that was written in my green notebook to my brother. And he kind of like, didn't brush off the situation. He kind of passed it over to his hometown friend, Melvin Barcliff, which is also known as Magoo. And I spit the freestyle for him, and he loved it.
So, would you say Tim's the one who got you started in music?
Tim started out DJing. I was really influenced by him. I mean, what can you say? I mean, you come home every night, you're hearing either, Eric B. or Rakim or Run DMC, Queen Latifah's Ladies First, scratching it up in the room. I'll say Tim got me started.
Mm-hmm. And how would you say he influenced your music now?
As all a lot of people know, I started out ghostwriting with Tim, so I actually took a lot of things from Tim when it comes to music. I mean, simple stuff that you wouldn't think of when you're doing music, as in maybe even formatting of 16 bars or something like that. Like stuff like that I learned from Tim, and even recreating, because Tim is a person who recreates music and, change genres and break barriers. I got that from him. He always told me to make sure whatever you do, stay fresh and new. Always reinvent yourself.
So, how is it being the little brother of Timberland? It's
I get this question a lot. I mean, so it's one of those things where, you know, it's a gift and a curse.
Why?
I mean, the gift is, say for instance, if you're an artist, upcoming artist, and you're trying to get a record deal, so quote, you have to probably go to like the proper channels to get that to happen. Like you have to probably go through a secretary in an office building. Me, I get right to the head, man. You know, it's because of Tim. That's the gift of it. There's a lot of more gifts of it. I mean, there's free food. Go to Corral, whatever you want to go. I mean, there's a lot of gifts, but there's a lot of disadvantages as well. You know, the people put expectations on me because of Tim. You know, they put these expectations of, I got to be just as great as Tim. And it's not that I'm not great. It's just the fact that when you put me on a high pedestal, I have nowhere to go but down.
So those are big shoes to fill.
And shadows.
Big shoes and shadows.
Shoes and shadows.
Yeah, as you said, you ghost wrote for Tim a lot. On what?
The list goes on and on. I mean, we'll be here forever. But, I mean, I want to say from the second Timbaland and Magoo album, Indecent Proposal, I don't know if that was the second one, but all the way through all the Timbaland and Magoo albums, a little bit of Shop Value 1, and really a lot of Timbaland and Magoo stuff that you're hearing. I did a lot of ghostwriting for Tim. Of course, a lot of people may not know I got my first break off of ghostwriting for Tim. That's actually the Romeo Must Die soundtrack. A song called We At It Again. I wrote Tim's verse for that. And then I did such a good job with that. It was like an extra credit type of thing. Like, hey, why don't you write a rap for yourself? I did that. Came out brilliant. That was my first appearance. Well, actually, first shot into the world.
So, how do you feel about his success? How do you feel about the work that he's done and the things that he's accomplished?
To be honest with you, I mean, me and Tim talk about this all the time. We would have never imagined what has happened, you know, to come forth and really happen. It's all a blessing, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's kind of weird for me and Tim because it kind of like altered our relationship a little bit. Like, I'm not saying it took a turn for the worse, but it kind of like, our time together is not like how it used to be. Like we're always crossing each other. It's almost like if the window on the plane was big enough, we could wave to each other because we're always crossing each other. But we never get to see each other. He's either on one plane, I'm on another plane. He's in one state, I'm in another state. He's in one country, I'm in another country. That's the only thing about it. Like the only time I get to see Tim now is usually like either if I'm performing with him on a song or holidays.
So, would you blame that on the music, or
I don't blame
that?
I don't blame anything on the music. I blame it on the job. We can do music and be together. That's not the problem. The problem is the job behind it. The record company wants you to sell records. You know, you got to get out there and bust your butt to sell those records. You know, if it was just the music, I mean, we could sit in the studio all day and do music. I mean, it was one of those things where, I mean, I could do hot songs all day. You know what I mean? I'm a Mosley. We do good music.